We are speaking to Raquel Henriques at Rovensa, the Global Sustainability Associate Director. So, Raquel, tell us a little bit about the company's perspective on human rights and why that is.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Nicole, for this opportunity for this conversation. Um, Let me start by explaining what we do at Rovensa, a bit more about us, also for you to better understand our connection with human rights. So we are a group of companies that operate through two business units that develop, manufacture, and sell agri inputs for sustainable agriculture. That means that it is in our core business a strong concern with the social purpose, which is feeding the planet, so which is directly connected with human rights. So we have laboratories all over the world, and we have 14 industrial plants where we develop those products for agricultural production. And our aim is to, our mission, our noble mission and purpose is to support farmers and empower them to produce safe, healthy, and nutritious food for everyone. That's why it's connected with human rights. So access to adequate food is international recognized human rights. For instance, when we design our sustainability strategy, one of the SDGs that we anchored, it was the SDG Zero Hunger. So it is deeply connected in our business strategy. Ending and contribute to end anger in the world. And as you know, so anger impacts mainly the most vulnerable people, those mainly with difficulty to access to food, and we like to contribute that to ensure equal and affordable food for everyone. And at the same time, to ensure food security is also an important concern nowadays. So explaining our business model. So it is embedded in our business strategy, but also in our operation. So for us, the human rights is a huge responsibility for us, and it's non-negotiable. So we subscribe the international standards, and we also subscribe UN guiding principles on business and human rights. And it's not merely to do checkbox, but mainly because it's the right thing to do. So putting our focus on human rights is extremely important for us.
Fantastic. So, with all of that in mind, tell us a little bit about the where you are as an organization and your human rights due diligence journey that you're on.
So it's a journey, as you are saying. We are now developing a corporate global human rights policy. So the human rights topic has been since the beginning in our corporate policies, in code of conduct, in diversity, equity, inclusion, in the big corporate policies that we have in place. But we are now developing a standalone policy dedicated to human rights, exactly to express our unwavering commitment to human rights. This is one step, but then the next step and the part that we have started is it's not enough policy, because could be well intentioned, but if it's not translated in tangible actions, they are just mere words. So we are integrating our commitments in our business process for execution. What does it mean? So we have started with the most elementary due diligence process. Nevertheless, they are also extremely important, such as, for instance, when we look at our human rights impacts, we always look not only in our direct operations, but also in our business relationships. So imagine in the case of upstream, in the part with suppliers, we do have supplier code of conduct, sustainable procurement policy, that our suppliers should commit to and be aligned with our own values. Apart from that, for instance, we also put in the terms and conditions of suppliers' contract that we at our group we have zero tolerance for any kind of human rights abuse. In our direct operations, we are also looking at the working conditions of our own employees, and in the downstream, the same. So, in the use of our products, in our client's contract, we do have also a clause specifying that zero tolerance regarding human rights abuse. That is one example of how we are integrating the business process, the policy commitments into the business process. It's still a journey, so there is lots of things to do ahead. And I think the new corporate sustainability due diligence directive will also challenge all companies to move faster in this direction. And we are aligned and we are continuously improving the due diligence process to prevent mainly and address any kind of human rights impacts or adverse impacts. In our case, one of the biggest focus in terms of human rights is the part of if pose a potential severe risk for human, then we address immediately.
Fantastic. So you've given some examples. Do you have any other examples of action that you are taking and how you are integrating this into the business value chain?
Yes, I do. Building on what I've just said, and taking in consideration the nature of our business, the working conditions, for instance, of our own workers, and also the employees of our supply, the workers of our supply chain is a concern for us. I'll give you a specific example, which is the health and safety topic, which is it is embedded in our case in our values, so in our corporate values. Our values at Rovensa are SEATs, and the first S stands for safety. So it means that we are putting safety as a core value for our business and for the whole organization. Seeing that, we do have right now, not right now, it has started a long time ago, and is a strong, we do have a strong program and strong commitment on the health and safety once we have 14 manufacturing plants across the world, which is called the STAR program. So in our direct operations, how we prevent and address the health and safety. The STAR stands for Safety Met Rovensa, and it works as a metaphor for a compass that each employee should follow. So we should put safety always at first. We are implementing that program to encourage and to ensure a zero harm culture within our direct operations. And that is not only directly connected with employees, but also with the surrounding communities in our plants.
Fantastic.
That means zero harm, zero incidents in our industrial plants, but also zero any kind of incidents that could impact living a life with dignity of our local communities, which could be, for instance, also looking carefully about for instance, our effluents that could have an impact on the surrounding communities.
Great to hear.
So this is in terms of direct operation, but it doesn't end here. So direct operations and extending communities, and then you have also the business relationships. So upstreams, when we buy raw material, we also are buying to other manufacturing industries. So one of the screenings that we do is the health and safety, is material for us. And in some visits that we do to some of our suppliers, that is one of priority, because for us, the prioritization should be the potential severe risk that presents to a human being.
Yeah.
And so that's why for us it's so important, and that's why we took action immediately in this matter. The same is applicable in the downstream. For instance, when our products are applicable in the fields by the farmers. So we also have what we call boots on the grounds, which are farmers advisors, just to put it simply, and they do recommendations and advice how to better use our products to not have any health and safety, any personal health and safety impacts for the farmers and also for the environment, of course.
Yeah.
So we are looking mainly to prevent any adverse impact on human rights across our value chain. That is the example that I just shared, and we also have grievance mechanisms. So for direct operations or any business partner that you might have. We have a whistleblowing channel where people can claim or present any observation that could reflect or any human rights abuse, let's say.
Yes. This is fantastic. I mean, it's great to hear that you really thought about the full value chain. And even your example, making safety a priority, that is a great example. So thank you for that. I think what we'd like to hear about now is really what are the next steps? We know it's a journey. So what are the next steps for the organization?
Yeah, so it's a journey, and I used to say that it's a marathon. Okay, it's not a sprint, even though the tsunami of regulations are challenging the companies to move faster. It's important that we structure very well our due diligence process to prevent any kind of adverse impact. When plotting those impacts, in the case of human rights, we have in mind that part that if it doesn't matter the likelihood, if we have a potential severe impact on human rights, we should address it immediately, and that is applicable to our right operations and also to our in our business relationships. So I would say that setting our commitment, because issuing and launching our standalone human rights policy, it's important. Also to signal internally for our employees that is something that we should bear in mind in every business decision. Is non-negotiable. If any action that we take or any decision making that we make could present a severe risk for humans, we should stop it. We should mitigate, we should address. And the important thing that also the new upcoming regulations challenging the companies is the part of the correction actions and the part of remedy actions. So I would say that next step is the part of the policy, and then continuously improve our due diligence process to better have a picture and identify the risks and the impacts, and then also in the cases of the situations that could present a risk, that we can act and challenge, for example, our suppliers to elaborate corrective action plans for the most relevant high risks.
Absolutely. So I just want to commend Rovensa on the actions that they're taking and the holistic approach. And I look forward to watching this journey with you and seeing how it progresses. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a pleasure.